intentional. I am the sun. I am original. I am the one. I have a purpose for my existence. I will not stop till I reach my mission. I have ambition. I am consistent. People don't cross me without my permission. My journey is in no competition. I am grateful for all I've been given. I am unique. I am complete. I am everything that I wish to see. I can create my own reality. I am the best me that I can be. I am manifestation. I am present and patient. I am confident. I am opulent. I am destined for greatness.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Sheena D, aka Indigo Ayora, and this is Str8 Outta Kemet. Founded in 2019, it was birthed underneath my publishing company, I in the Middle Publishing, LLC, where the mission is raising frequencies one book at a time. Str8 Outta Kemet features greatness from our own melanated community of entrepreneurs, entertainers, authors, and social influencers. Its mission is lifting up our people one broadcast at a time. Str8 Outta Kemet has been rebirthed and will continue in the legacy of uplifting our people by utilizing its platform to promote their greatness. We are available on all listening platforms.
Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for tuning into the Str8 Outta Kemet podcast. Let me let y'all know something, man. I have truly missed you all. I had a lot of things that has transpired in my life over the last few weeks, honey. But let me tell you, I am back in it to win it like I never left. All right, listen. Just to give y'all a little bit of a, backstory about what's been going on. I recently relocated. I was able to move into a home with my children. So, we just had to get settled, man. We had to get settled. Had to get their stuff packed away, and for the most part everything is together, with little odds and ends that still needs to be done. Also, I had to get better equipment. My computer just completely like it was done. So now we're back in it, y'all. I ain't forget. Y'all thought I was done. Nah. I already told you what the mission is. On tonight's episode, we have a very special guest, y'all, from out of Washington, D.C. I've been trying to let y'all know D.C. is a place where stars are born and some stars are created. If you don't know, you better ask somebody, baby. We have a very special guest from out of Washington, D.C. She is my sister in spirit. She is also the author of Sleep Baby, which can be found at www.eitmpublishingsllc.com. Let me tell y'all something. This is an episode that y'all definitely want to tune into. If you have any type of skin in alignments, this is definitely the message that you need to hear. Let me let y'all know something, that I purchased this Sister's product not too long ago, and my baby boy, he has a slight bit of eczema. And usually by the end of the evening, when I'm about to give him a bath, his skin is ashy, as if I didn't put nothing on him. And I usually used to moisturize him with just a regular schmegular shea butter. But let me tell y'all something, with this product, okay, my baby boy was still shining upon the time for him to go to bed, upon time for him to take a bath. So you definitely want to make sure you tune in to this whole episode, alright? I ain't about to sit here and wrap y'all up. I'm gonna let y'all feel all this energy for yourself. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into the episode, alright? Tiera M., owner of Kymmy Wellness and mother of 4, has worked within the community for over 6 years. She has taught several youth and senior fitness classes, made health promoting products, and has put forth an extensive effort to be involved in community events. Health and sovereignty has always been a part of her mission, as she is now focusing on homesteading in place and homeschooling, and providing the community with products that serves as a healthy alternative to the ones found in stores. She is currently working on building a virtual wellness community via Facebook and Patreon. You can find her on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook as Kymmy Wellness, and YouTube under Naturally T. That's Naturally TI. Be sure to check out her website at www.kymyhub.com. And without further ado, please give it up for Miss Tiera M. Tiera M up in the building today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Str8 Outta Kemet podcast. How are you feeling?
No problem. Thank you for having me here. I feel good today, I feel good. It's Sunday, it's a chill day, so I'm feeling good. How are you?
Absolutely. Hey, I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I said, as long as I have breath in my body, that means my purpose is not yet fulfilled.
I understand. No, that's right.
So just got to keep it moving. Keep it moving. In all things, because life definitely does get a little frustrating. It's funny because when you're a child, you see your parents doing things and you see that they get frustrated, but you don't really understand it. You're like, I don't know, I'm a kid, da 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 da, play with my toys. And then once you become an adult, you get it. It's like, oh wow, I get it now. Now I understand.
Absolutely.
And it makes you appreciate your parents so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So the way I love to start off the podcast, it's, to get the audience a little bit more about who you are before the interview, I like to do what is called icebreakers. So I'll ask you just 2 questions. And you're basically, let the audience know. All right. So the first question I would like to know is, what is one thing that you would like to do before you transition from this planet that you have never done?
Climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Okay, yes, because I know you are into hiking and stuff. Now, how tall is that mountain?
I don't even remember. It's been so long since I set the goal. I actually set that goal before I had my son. So my son's almost 3. That was probably 4.5 years ago. And I used to just read nonstop about it. And it was just on the top of my mind all the time. And then I had my son, girl, and I had mom brain. So
I definitely understand how that is, having mommy brain. I get it often.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay. And what is your favorite quote?
Ooh. Well, what I say most often is in troubling times is God heals all wounds. No, time heals all wounds and God is time. So that is what has gotten me through a lot, knowing that, things get better with time. So it's not really, it's a half of a quote and then I added on to it. But yeah, it's, it makes me feel safe or comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about. I mean, we need those to make us feel safe and comfort throughout our journey, because it is definitely a journey.
Yeah.
And if you aren't careful and if you don't keep your head on straight, you could definitely go astray.
Yeah.
Whatever astray looks like, So I love it. I love it. Okay, well, again, I'm so glad that you're able to be on the show today. Now, from what I remember, the way I remember meeting you actually was at Thursday Night Tea with Anthony. You were presenting your business. So just, let me know what's going on now with Miss Tiera M.
Oh my goodness, so much is going on right now. Now my company is Kymmy Wellness, and I used to make candles, but I have recently discontinued the line, and I'm moving on to things that really make me happy and make me feel like I am closer to doing things that are fulfilling for me, things that I feel like are a little bit more needed than candles. I know everybody loves candles. I love candles, you know, but it's just, I want to promote more wellness. Not to say that candles aren't a part of wellness, but just not for me and my business, you know, and that's something that I want to produce for my hands going forward. So now I have some new products that I'm about to launch along with my butters that I still make, which I'm not announcing yet until the launch, but stay tuned. If you want to, you can follow me on Tiera M, and you'll see on Instagram. So Tiera M __, and you'll see my products launch. And I'm really excited about that. And then I'm also moving further along in my wellness journey. I'm a trainer and getting back into the physical shape that I want to be in from having my son and from dealing with all of the burdens in life that kind of like just piled on one after another within this year. It has been a challenge for me. I never had like such a challenge before when it came to like my strength and my speed, but this, and I think also when you hit your 30s, like your body changes some. So, you know, I'm just dealing with all of that and just moving my business with that so that my business changes and grows with me as I mature and move on through life, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is beautiful. Okay, so you said you have your butters line that's going to be happening very soon that you're going to be dropping. It's exclusive details. You're not trying to share it right now, but people definitely need to tune in and tap in because it is coming very, very soon. It's already in the making. Yes, yes, yes. And also, you are doing, is it called TRM Fitness?
Well, it was, and now everything's just under Kymmy. So business wise, everything is under my brand, which is Kymmy Wellness. So, you know, when you see me, just Kymmy Wellness, and that's it so far. I don't want to, you know, just having everything in one place just makes things a little bit easier for me. So, yeah.
Okay, so yes, you have a lot of wonderful things going on for yourself. I'm just wondering, with you being a mommy as myself, how do you find time like to do? You have two different businesses. I see that's happening. You making it happen. How do you find time to be able to give all the time and attention that you need to your businesses, and then also to being a mommy?
In all honesty, it's very difficult. It is extremely difficult to find time, and I'm actually working on ways to incorporate them more. And it's so funny that you asked me that because I was just thinking about that yesterday, how I want them to not just be in the same house with me, but to be in the same space with me more, and just for us to learn and grow with one another, you know. So sometimes, like if I'm at work, you know, they're off in their own rooms and I don't have that time to spend with them and to see them. And then when it comes down to my business, I'm spending like hours making products and they're again off doing their own thing, you know. So I spend most of my time with them while they are at school, and which is when I'm teaching them. And so it's just like, you know, we get our time on the weekends where we go out, we might go to a park or something like that, go for a walk. But it's not, to me, it's not enough time that we're spending with one another so that we can fully learn each other. So I was thinking how I can incorporate them more into Kymmy Wellness. Before, I used to let my daughter take all of the pictures, you know, for like my products, or if we were out, I would let her like take the pictures. So she was kind of like the photographer. But now, because most of the pictures are like more so product pictures in the house, I take everything, and it just kind of like took her out of the loop, you know? So now at this point in time, I'm just trying to figure out ways that I can bring them back in. And that's also kind of difficult because they have their own interests. Like my daughter, she's into knitting. And then my oldest daughter's into knitting. And then my youngest daughter, she's into like making clay figurines. So they have their own ideas for their own business. They want to start their own YouTube channel. So they have their own like thought process going on. And I want them to also have time to like cultivate that as well. So it's very difficult finding time for everything. But we'll make it happen, you know. We're working hard for that. Hopefully this year, you know, I've gotten a lot more organized. So hopefully this year I can find a way that I can set aside time that we can work together, even if that looks like they're working on their own projects or I'm working on my own project, but we're all in the same space and we're all talking with one another about what we're doing and why we're doing it and what our goals are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it though. I'm about to say, yeah, they all have their own thing going on, and that can all be a part of your business as well. To help them like start getting into I know they already in a business mindset because they see you do it. But to show them like their own individual business, like have them like your daughter who makes things, she can start selling it under your website under Kymmy Kimmy? How do you pronounce it? Kymmy. Okay, Kymmy Wellness. I don't know why I want to say Kimmy when I see it, but okay. Yeah, she could start selling it. She could start selling her products under there as well. You know what I mean? So that is good. That is really, really awesome. Being a working mom, especially a working mom who is an entrepreneur, can be very, very challenging. I mean, half the time you see I'm over here right now trying to fight trying to fight her to be quiet. And then sometimes I have my son in the background coming making noise. Thank goodness it's not. So that is awesome. I know that what you're doing right now and just you know, other moms who are out there and they're wanting to move their business along. I know that they're going to find this and what you just said to be very inspirational to them. So let's see. Let's throw in a random question. I love asking these random questions because again, it just gives the audience just to get a little bit more insight about you outside of your business. So what is the last book that you read and what is something that you learned from it?
Ooh. The last book? Oh, wow. Well, from cover to cover, like from start to finish?
Sure.
I think that it was, I believe that it was a book by J. California Cooper, who was like one of my favorite authors. And I can't remember the name of it. Oh my goodness. But okay, so if you want a title to reference, it is Some People, Some Other Places, which was my favorite book by her. But then I started reading a lot of her other like collections and short stories. I can't remember the last one because I read it from my phone, but it was about slavery. It was a slavery book. I didn't know. I jumped into the book because like I said, from her other titles. And it was heart-wrenching. Like that was the most heart-wrenching book that I've ever read. And I've read like The New Jim Crow and like just medical apartheid. Like you know, that book, because it was so like colorful, like animated, it just was like gut-wrenching. And what I learned from it is that I don't want to read anything about slavery or anything that's going to bring my spirit down anymore. I'm just, I'm fine. I already know what happened, you know, and no, thank you, you know. So that was really my biggest takeaway from that book. And it also just goes to a credit of how good how wonderful she is as an author, because that book took me there. It felt like I was there going through all of the generations that she was talking about. And I was like, it was all I could talk about for like 2 weeks because I was so like hurt and frustrated and sad by the story, and it was fictional, even though it was based on something, but it was a fictional story. But that's pretty much my last book that I've read from cover to cover.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that sounds pretty deep. I tend to stray away from I would say mostly like movies if I come across movies and stuff about that. Like I can't really watch it because it does something to me. That definitely makes me upset, and I
Yeah.
just be like, I don't know, I couldn't be a slave back then. But then again, you know what I'm saying? It was just it was that time period. So maybe things were different back then. But I'm like, I couldn't take them talking to me like that. Or like
Yeah.
doing the things like I'll be trying to fight. I'm too feisty. I'm too feisty. I would have died a long time ago.
Yeah.
But also um with homeschooling, how does that go? Like, how do you be able to work that out, find the time? I mean, I know I've seen a couple of clips of your YouTube where you're kind of like explaining the process or the worksheets and things that you put together. Like, can you share a little bit more information about that? I mean, because I know that there are people who are looking to homeschool their children, but they don't know exactly where to start, or, they just might need a little bit of guidance.
Don't look to me for guidance. Say no. Homeschooling was, oh my gosh, it was like a come to me type of moment because one of my old best friends, she used to always tell me homeschool, homeschool. And at the time I was like, I can't afford, to homeschool. I have to work and I'm running a bit. I can't do it. And then eventually I was like, I can do this. If I put my mind to it, I can do it because I want to, and I want my children to be home with me. And eventually the whole situation, like probably right before the whole, Rona's hit, I had already pulled them and kept them home. And when that hit, it was just like, wow, they're at home, they're learning from home, you're teaching them, you might as well go ahead and take it into your hands because you know what you want them to learn. And the reason being is because my children learn different, especially like one of my children needs to have somebody that is like, no nonsense, have a seat, look at this board, pay attention, and just somebody that keeps her focused, because if you let her, she's going to go. Okay. And that's just, that's just what it is. And then my other children was having difficulty learning how to read, and, they didn't know how to tell time. They were like, didn't know very much about money. I remember I was on my way taking them to school one day, and I said, if we leave now and it takes 19 minutes for us to get to school, what time would it be when we get there? And like, it was just blank faces. And at the time, my children were like 3rd grade, 2nd grade, and I didn't expect my kindergarten to know, but I expected them to at least, for my 3rd grader to know, and then for my 2nd grader to at least be able to take me through the concept of like what they have to do to arrive at the answer. And it was just like not working. And a lot of the homework at that time was just, I just did not like the curriculum. And so long story short, I decided that, I want them to come home. And the first year was a mess because it was just like workbooks that I was pulling together, and it was just a mess. But by the 2nd year, I was much more organized, and it still wasn't as seamless as I would want it to be. And this year I'm adding in more curriculum that has already been established for like the core subjects of like math and language arts. I love science, and I feel as though it's my job to teach social studies. So I'm keeping that in my hands, but I kind of outsourced math and language arts. So it's just like, I'm just doing it. It's not easy. It's not cheap, but I'm just doing it because I've noticed the improvement in my children. I've noticed my son came home and my son did not know how to read. And he was going into the first grade. He did not know how to read at all. They told me he didn't even know how to read nonsense words where they put like a consonant, vowel, consonant sound together. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like he's bright, And then I came home and I sat him down in a chair and I said, we're gonna read. And I taught him, the skills that I learned when I was in school. And he went from not being able to read to being on level 1 with level 1 books. And I said, oh, we're fine, So that was kind of like my homeschooling experience. So I'm hoping this year it just keeps getting better and better and I become a stronger homeschooler from here on.
Absolutely, definitely. That's takes a lot, so you should really be proud of yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back because that takes a lot to be able to homeschool. I'm still trying to find that balance, but my son is still very young at the same time. So what I've learned that he's been like the way that he's been learning, like he's really good at playing video games. So I know most people be like, what video games? What? He's learning like the different shapes in there, and basically learning concentration. He's learning how to concentrate. So we've been doing that. We also been playing things like Uno, just like little things to assist him along in his learning journey. And even though he does not really fully know how to play Uno, he's getting there though. You know what I mean? But he's knowing, like, I feel like Uno still is going to help him with concentration and like matching the numbers and things like that. So I still haven't really decided if I'm going to continue with like homeschooling because I really feel like I don't know what I'm doing right here. But it is, it's still definitely a process. Now, real quick, we have about 10 minutes left. I would love for you to give like a quick like a backstory of what started you with starting your butters, and also to give all the information of where everyone can find all of your products.
So I started making my butters because my youngest son, the one I just had, he around like 3 months, he had really bad like head to toe eczema. And it was the saddest part of my life because I felt like I couldn't do anything. Like I felt like so helpless. And he used to be just crying and covered, and he was a baby. It was just sad. And so I took him to the doctor, of course, and they suggested hydrocortisone. I was just like, no, And I remember someone told me they had used Shea Moisture A to Z Baby. And I tried that and it worked a little bit. Like it started healing up a little bit, but then I was like, okay, well, what's in here that's helping his skin? And then I started researching the different ingredients. And then I was like, oh, I can make my own butter, and try to heal him from that standpoint. And so I said, I'm going to stop using like any scented anything on him. No, nothing. I already like don't use Johnson & Johnson or anything like that. We used to use Shea Moisture's baby body wash. And I decided like, okay, we're just going to use water and we're just going to like try to give his skin a chance to like regenerate. And I started making the butters, and then like now his eczema is gone. He has like little outbreaks that come on his back every now and then, but like completely healed. And from that standpoint, I was like, okay, well, let me, share this with the world. And so I started making butters for everyone. And initially it was like, how sometimes you have self-doubt. So initially I was like, it's butter, so I'm selling butters. But then I started getting people coming to me saying, I have eczema and my skin doesn't itch anymore, or I had like a rash on my arm and like I started using your butters and it cleared up in like a day or two. And I was just like, wow, like everything that we need we don't need to like have to step outside of what is natural to like heal ourselves, at least on the things that are, you know, easier, you know, like I'm not saying do something so you don't have to have heart surgery, you know, but at least when it comes to something about your skin, that's something that we can do ourselves. At least when it comes to like trying to work with your digestive system, that's something that we can do ourselves. Trying to like, you know, just, I don't want to ramble on and on, but just we could take our healing into our own hands. And then from there, it's just like I became so anchored to the butters. And that's another reason why it's like the candles became like, you know, it's like, you know, with the candles, because I became so anchored to the fact that we can work towards our own healing. And then it just grew from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I wanted you to share that because I know that there's someone somewhere going through something that's similar, if not the same thing. And so they know that your butters would definitely be able to help them. She's official, y'all. She's official. Make sure y'all get it. So go ahead and let them know, where can they find all of your upcoming products and information about your fitness and all that good stuff, all of your social handles.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Kymmy Wellness. So Kymmy Wellness. It's Kymmy because it's an acronym for all of my children and my name. So that's how we got Kymmy, even though it looks like Kymmy. Okay. But so also Tiera M. So Tiera M __. And then on YouTube, it's Naturally T. So you can follow me there. I don't really post much on Facebook, but if you want to, it'll be the same thing, Tiera M. So I hope I see y'all there, y'all. Y'all let me know how I did, because the girl was nervous, y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you did absolute great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job of delivering all the information. No one could tell that she was nervous, girl. You got this. You got this. You got this. So y'all make sure and y'all hit her up on all her social handles and all the information that she just gave you, as far as her website and everything like that. Y'all can expect so much coming from Miss Tiera M. All right. So make sure y'all keep on following her in order to stay up to date. Thank you so much for tuning in, sis. We definitely appreciate it.
Thanks. Peace.
Peace. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Str8 Outta Kemet podcast. I do trust that you have enjoyed this episode. And before we go, I have to give a huge shout out to my girl, Uniqea Monie. Her song is the song that you hear on the intro to the Str8 Outta Kemet podcast. Y'all be sure to go follow her. You can follow her at Cosmic Nobodies Conventions with a K, Less Nobodies Business LLC, Sunshine Monet L on Facebook, Less Nobodies on YouTube, and Uniqea Monet on all streaming platforms.
I am confident, I am opulent, I am destined for greatness.